and it's 3 minutes in respect for everybody, so if you'll adhere to that time. If you get close, I'll try to give you a reminder. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can you also, since we have visitors, let them know that we don't respond?
Yeah. We're just listening to their comments. Thank you.
Dr. Harper, Chairman Nelson, members of the board. I've risen a number of times in the past in protest of tax increases, but I rise today to offer my full support for this board and this community as we have come under attack by those who would infringe upon our religious freedoms. Recently, Bibles were made available for our school children at one of the schools. They were not handed out, but they were made available. And while we tend to get tied down in semantics and the legalistics of this issue, the current interpretation of separation of church and state is not always as we understand it now. In fact, the current understanding came about in 1947 in the Supreme Court ruling in Everson versus Board of Education. Prior to that, religion was considered an integral part not only of our Republican form of government, but of our education. And having said that, I would like to read some quotes from men far wiser than I that preceded us in helping found this nation which we hold so dear. Benjamin Rush, member of, or one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, wrote, "The only foundation for a useful education in a republic is to be laid in religion. Without this there can be no virtue, and without virtue there can be no liberty. And liberty is the object and life of all republican governments." Fisher Ames, author of the House of Representatives language on the First Amendment. "Why should not the Bible regain the place it once held as a school book? Its morals are pure, its examples captivating and noble. The reverence for this sacred book that is thus early impressed lasts long, and probably, if not impressed in infancy, never takes firm hold in the mind." John Jay, First Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. "The Bible is the best of all books, for it is the Word of God and teaches us the way to be happy in this world and in the next. Continue therefore to read and to regulate your life by its precepts." George Washington. You've got
a few seconds. Go ahead.
Oh, that went quickly.
Yeah.
In that case, let me skip to the end, the one that might surprise people. National Education Association. Actually, let me back up. Supreme Court unanimous decision. "Why may not the Bible, and especially the New Testament, without note or comment, be read and taught as divine revelation in schools? Its general principles expounded, its evidence is explained, and its glorious principles of morality inculcated. Where can the purest principles of morality be learned so clearly or so perfectly as from the New Testament?"
Thank you. Dr. Harper.
Mr. Chairman, Gerald Lewis would like to address the board this time.
Mr. Lewis.
We have Mr. Dirk Whitmore.
Whitmore.
Good evening, Dr. Harper and members of the Bartow County School Board. Thank you for allowing me this time. My name is Dirk Whitmore, resident, parent, taxpayer, and founder of the Bartow Coalition for Religious Freedom. I am here to address a concern regarding a recent event that took place at Cloverleaf Elementary School and subsequent threatened actions against the Bartow County school system by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. To briefly summarize, representatives of the Gideons International distributed Bibles at Cloverleaf Elementary School on December 4th, 2014. One parent objected and contacted 11 Alive News in Atlanta by email, who subsequently interviewed her and her son and carried the story. The Freedom from Religion Foundation threatened to sue the Bartow County School Board, claiming to represent concerned parents and taxpayers, although they appear to be representing only one individual in this instance. From all accounts given in the news media and a response from Dr. Harper, student participation in the distribution of Bibles was strictly voluntary and was in no way coerced by any Cloverleaf Elementary School staff or any other representative of the Bartow County school system. Therefore, this case does not fall under the category of any type of endorsement of any one religion over another by a governmental entity. The representatives of the Gideons International are not employed by the Bartow County school system, nor Cloverleaf Elementary School in particular. No employee of either Cloverleaf Elementary School or the Bartow County School System attempted to endorse, coerce, or in any way require student participation. The actions of Cloverleaf Elementary School staff were well within the guidelines of the U.S. Department of Education's guidance on constitutionally protected prayer in public and elementary schools, which includes religious expressions other than prayer. These guidelines come from the requirement of Section 9524 of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, otherwise known as ISEA, which was amended by the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001, requiring the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Education to issue these guidelines. The latest guidelines are from February 2003, which is the latest posted on the Department of Education's website. The Secretary stated the following in a section of the guidelines entitled Overview of Governing Constitutional Principles, and I quote, "The relationship between religion and government in the United States is governed by the First Amendment to the Constitution, which both prevents the government from establishing religion and protects privately initiated religious expression and activities from government interference and discrimination. The legal rules that govern the issue of constitutionally protected prayer in the public schools are similar to those that govern religious expression generally. Thus, in discussing the operation of Section 9524 of the ISEA, this guidance sometimes speaks in terms of religious expression. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the First Amendment requires public school officials to be neutral in their treatment of religion, showing neither favoritism toward nor hostility against religious expression.
You have just a few seconds.
Thank you. The Gideon International representatives certainly fall under the category of private individuals. We also have constitutional cases on this from the U.S. Supreme Court. Although the Constitution forbids public officials from directing and favoring prayer, students do not, quote, shed their constitutional rights to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate, which was Tinker versus Des Moines, Independent Community School District, U.S. Supreme Court, 1969.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I tried. But if I may, just one statement, the coalition does support the board in this matter.
Thank you.
Fully. Thank you.